All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Greater Entrepreneur Success Group. I am your host, Dr. Sinclair Gray, along with my wife, Kim Hudson Gray. Welcome everyone. Looking for an exciting time. You know the drill. Let's go ahead and tell everybody who we are. Because we're short in number today, I'm gonna be nice and give you 10 seconds. No, I'm gonna give you 7. I'm gonna go and give you 10. Just tell us your name and your company and anything that you want. Monique, you go last because you are our guest presenter. No particular order, just how you are on my screen. Miss Elia.
Good morning, everyone. It's nice to be here. I have been absent for quite a long time, but I'm here representing Bold Ministries. We feed children free in the summer and now throughout the year, and that's it.
All right, you're in the Georgia area, what the Conyers area. So we gotta let people know the Conyers area.
Yes, and the Conyers. Well, actually, the ministry serves about 7 counties, but
Oh,
I'm representing just Conyers. Yes.
all right. And if anybody needs someone who knows how to speak Spanish, Elia knows how to speak Spanish.
Buenos días.
Buenos días.
Bueno. Okay, I can't speak Spanish, so let me not go there. Uh, all right, we're going to go with Stacy.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Stacy Porter.
Good
I am
morning.
the principal consultant for Porter Global Security. And pretty much what I do there is I conduct physical security assessments for businesses, schools, and houses of worship. That's me in a nutshell.
Perfect. Hey, when you get time, you and Ricky Terry need to connect. I guess you guys have some synergy there. You guys could discuss it offline. So Ricky Terry and Stacy, y'all need to really connect. Maxine, all the way from California through via Trinidad.
Via Trinidad. Glorious good morning to all. I am Maxine Barnett. I am the principal coach of softskillservices.com. I coach leaders and I coach leaders at every level because soft skills are what make the difference. The hard skills are invaluable without the soft skills.
Wonderful. Good to see you. Thank you, Maxine. Kim.
Good morning, everybody. Kim Hudson Gray. My business right now is Pearl and Accessories, and I sell pearls and pretty jewelry for your Zoom meetings. So take a look. I'll put my website in the message side. And have a good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Thank you. We
Morning.
got, hey, Renee.
Good morning, everyone. This is Renee Creighton with RLC Hospitality and Travel. I'm working with remote sales with a couple of hotels in the Conyers and Covington market. It's not just a room, it's not just a meeting space, but it's the guest experience. Renee Creighton with RLC Hospitality and Travel.
One for this one, let you know if anybody's coming to Atlanta but does not want to stay in downtown Atlanta but enjoy beautiful Conyers, Covington. Was it Lithonia? Am I saying right?
No, Covington and Conyers.
Covington and Conyers. You need to call Renee. Don't call the hotel. Call Renee. Renee has the connections. She represents hotels, so she is the person to talk to.
Absolutely.
All right, we got Stevie, the insurance lady.
Good morning. Sorry for being late, everyone. I'm Stevie, the insurance lady, helping people all over the nation with any of their insurance needs.
Thank you, Stevie. And then we got Rick Terry.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Coach Rick Terry, retired veteran, United States Army drill instructor, good friend of Dr. Sinclair Gray. We go way back like babies and pacifiers. I am the coach of coaches. I stand at the point of leadership for every bit of the training I've ever done, courtesy of the United States military and the civilian force. And it is a pleasure to be with you guys today. It really is.
Well, Rick, keep on talking. Introduce, everybody knows me, I'm Sinclair. I'm a business trainer, speaker. Monique, go ahead and introduce Monique. Give us about 30 seconds for Monique, and then Monique, the show is yours for 20 minutes.
Well, again, good morning, especially to Monique. We go back, not like babies and pacifiers, but we go back to great advice. And you're talking about a great radio voice. It's this young lady here. Monique is a realtor, not just a realtor, because she's part of that top 100. She's hit the $1 Million Club. She hosts podcasts. She trains young men and women at the high school and above level to be successful. Her goal is quite simple. She said to me, I want to dominate, period. I want to dominate not only the real estate market, but the matters where Black folks are concerned about health and wealth, these are the things that are taking us to the doctor. So what you're going to get today is authenticity from Monique. She keeps it straight. She brings it like it TI is. And I promise you, you will not be disappointed. Monique, take it away.
Thank you, Rick. Go ahead, Monique, it's on you.
All right, thank you guys so much for allowing me to be here. And thank you, Coach, for that wonderful introduction. And thank you, Dr. Claire, Senior Claire Gray, for letting me be here as well. And everyone, thank you for your morning. So today we're going to dive in and we're going to talk more about fruitful relationships. And I'm going to share my screen. And when I spoke with Dr. Gray, we talked a little bit about just some of the topics you guys have been speaking about when it comes to entrepreneurship. And he did tell me that you guys touched on this subject, relationships, but I still feel like there's still some basics, or like, how would I like to say this? There's always like going back to the basics is always significant when it comes to growing your business. A lot of you guys, like Coach already mentioned, I am in sales. So a lot of what I do in the real estate industry is building relationships with people. And at the end of the day, one of the main tasks I have to do is to be able to help people get through the process of buying and selling their home. And a lot of this, while I'm going through this process, what I started to realize when I jumped into the real estate industry, in the beginning, I thought I was just trying to sell people a house, trying to help them buy a home. And the top things I was doing when I first started was just calling everybody I knew. And I was like, hey, do you want to buy a home? Do you want to sell a home? Do you want to buy a home? Do you want to sell a home? That's all I was saying to people. Over time, within that first year, I started to realize that it's a little bit more than just making a sell. It's really about building relationships and building rapport with people. So as you guys can see right here, this is my bio. It does talk about my accolades and some of the things that I was able to achieve with real estate. But one of the top things that I realized is that being in sales, like, you don't close a sale. What you're really doing is you're opening a relationship. When I first started, the main thing I wanted to do was get the deal closed and collect my commission check. And I never wanted to talk to the client ever again, honestly. And I started to realize, in terms of growth, that there was no way for me to continue to grow in the business. And also I was starting to feel a lack of fulfillment as well. Because at the end of the day, when it comes to humans and just kind of what we need and what we want in the world, one of the top things that, once I started to do a lot more research on just humans, the psychology of human, our brain, and how we think and how we develop, and also trying to become a better, not just a salesperson, just a better person, individual, I started to realize that we had a greater desire and a greater need. And one of the top things that I realized from just doing basic research and reading a lot of books is that everybody wants to feel important. At the end of the day, the most valuable thing that I learned throughout my journey, and also just from the reading and research that I've learned, is that, people, we, outside of sleeping, outside of eating, those are kind of like the major things that humans, that's what we kind of need to succeed, or just to feel accomplished. Another thing is that we want to feel important. And where you guys will see this, some of the examples of feeling important that I thought was it was very interesting. So here's my slide right here. It just talks about, what do humans want? Like, what are humans' greatest desires? And one thing I read from, who has read the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie? Like everybody at this point, right? So I've read the book a couple of times, and it took me a while to really internalize what the messaging was. And at first I was thinking like, oh, okay, if I help as many people out as possible and I get them what they need and what they're looking for, then that's good enough. Then I should be able to achieve all my dreams and goals. I kind of was looking at it from a very selfish standpoint. And once I start to fully realize is that it's bigger than that. It's not just about, trying to, I guess, in a sense to not say manipulate or it's not about just saying, hey, let me learn what people want so I can get what I want so I can make this sell. I started to realize is that, you know, humans, we have a deep desire to feel appreciated, to feel wanted, to feel important. So if you can add some of those principles into, at the end of the day, we are all are in a place where we're selling something. We're all marketing something, whether it's ourselves, whether it's a company and their products. Maybe it's just your marketing and selling yourself to your, for example, your kids. If you're trying to convince your kid to do something, if you're trying to convince maybe your significant other, you have to figure out a way to essentially want them to do that task. So if you're married and you're trying to get your husband to, I don't know, take out the trash or to maybe cook every once in a while, somewhere, somehow you have to convince them to want to do it. And even if you give them an ultimatum and say, hey, you know, if you don't do this, then you don't get this, which a lot of people resort to doing. And we do that same thing with kids as well. But we start to realize that that's not the way to move. You start to realize that you don't get the results you're looking for. And that's really not the true way to move the needle or to persuade or get anybody to do anything. It's really about getting to know the individual and making sure they feel appreciated and they feel important. And then in return, what typically happens is that you essentially help them out, and in return, you also are helped out in return as well. You also feel better as well. So one thing I started to realize with the studies and everything that I was doing and the research I was doing, in the book, it talked about some of the top things that make us different from animals. And that is the feeling of importance, or wanting to feel important. That's the difference between, you know, humans and animals. Did anybody realize that or notice that? Just curious. Is this some of the things you guys talked about before, Dr. Gray?
We never talked about this particular part, so keep on going. You're doing well.
Okay, so I always thought that, I just rereading the book a couple of times, I started to realize, like, wow, like I never really realized how something so minor can be so major. And how you get that feeling of importance, it tells you a lot about your character and what's most significant to you or that individual. So these are some of the points. These are some of the things that resonated within me, and I started to apply to my business, and it essentially helped me grow as an entrepreneur and also as an individual. So these are some of the things. Yes. And so just reiterating the fact, just how you get your feeling of importance tells you about who you are and determines your character and what's significant and important to you or, you know, that other person, trying to understand that. Some examples is that people like to receive awards. They like to receive accolades. You know, social media is it's very big right now. And one thing I was trying to figure out when social media started getting really, like when it started growing and getting really big, for a long time, I always thought, and a lot of us there's a lot of conversations on social media, the good impacts and the negative, the positive versus the negative on people and their mental psyche. Mental diseases, as we know, are going up, and they continue to go up. And social media has been a negative impact, but it does bring in some positive impact. So one thing I realized with social media is that what it does is helps you feel important. So that's the reason why so many people are using social media more than, and it's increasing, even though we're realizing and we're seeing that there's some negative side effects, people are using it more and more. So if you are thinking maybe that's, you know, if you're thinking like, if I just make somebody feel important, or if I make them feel appreciated, that's not going to help me grow my business, or that's not going to help, you know, that's not going to fix everything in my relationship or even with my kids or whatnot. If you're thinking that's not true, you can look at the social media as one of those things and do more research you could Google it and do more research into the reason and why, and that the fact that we release dopamine basically comes down to a lot of science, that we release the same thing that you release when the individual is an alcoholic, or maybe they're addicted to certain things. It's that release of that dopamine. Another example is luxury cars. A lot of people are big on name brand. Everybody probably knows or has a friend or knows an individual that will always wear name brand clothing. Every item on their body, every jacket, every shirt will be some form of name brand, or at least a well-known brand, because that's the way that they feel important. Like, that's the way that they feel like, hey, this makes me feel important to the world. So analyzing things like that will help you eternally analyze that individual that you're trying to work with. So it could be, even if you're not in sales, like I said in the beginning, you are selling something, whether it's for your company, whether it's for your business, whether it's for someone to work with you, you're selling something. So it is good to at least get to know the individual that you're working with, to do that additional research, go out of your way to kind of figure out who they are as a person. And then from there, what you can do is, obviously you can not only just sell them, but you can actually build a real relationship with them. And also, because mental illnesses and diseases are going up at such a rapid rate, it would also, you never know what telling somebody, just being honest with an individual and just telling them that, I like your outfit, or I really thoroughly enjoy your voice. Like, you have a great speaking voice, or you have a nice smile. You don't know how much that will brighten up their day, especially with depression rates going up. And right now we're in the middle of a pandemic. So a lot of little things, just being nice, being courteous, showing your appreciation, being authentic though. You don't need to don't oversell it, don't lie, because people can feel that energy. And I'm also a big believer in the universe. Whatever you put out there, you will also receive back. And I'm a huge believer in that. And that's the reason why I do believe that's why I've been able to be successful, in the real estate industry. And I'm able to expand, and through my connections and building real relationships with people, I've been able to expand and speak at some pretty phenomenal places, and also work with a lot of lovely individuals like you guys, such as yourselves. So I think I've been rambling a little bit, but I want to kind of, how much time do we have? I just want to make sure.
Hold on, we got about six more minutes.
Okay, so I'm going to wrap it up, and I wanted to wrap it up with.
But I have a question for you, Monique, or would you rather take questions at the end?
We can go ahead and take questions, and I can also wrap it up.
Okay.
One thing.
No.
Okay.
Here's my question. You went back. I know you talked about paying people compliments and things of that sort. And I know Coach Rick Terry, and he and I've spoken about it. I know my wife and I, we've talked about it. And I'm coming from a man's perspective. It's almost hard to give somebody a compliment today, because if you tell somebody, oh, you have a nice smile, or you tell somebody, it's almost to the point that you give someone a compliment, they may think something negative. And the next thing you know, things are happening that should not be happening. How do you approach that? Because I'm at the point now, and I have to be, I'm being very transparent. I don't give anyone compliments except my wife. Just for the simple fact, I don't want anyone to take something out of context.
Right.
I see, whatever, no one gets a compliment. And I guess for me, that's just for my protection. But
right.
How do you deal with that in this environment? And I don't know if anybody else has that issue as well.
Right. No, and I totally agree with you. I think that was actually a perfect question, especially in this climate where we're in a sue happy country. No matter what you say, what you can do can actually be used against you. So that's actually a really good question. One thing, I have another agent that he's kind of like a mentor in real estate, and he's actually doing phenomenal things in the real estate industry. And he actually got, the way he's been able to build his relationship is through purely compliments. And as you know, he's a man, he's married as well. He has a kid as well. So he has to be very mindful. He's even gotten to some situations where he's just been very nice, where he had to take a step back, where people took it the wrong way. And one thing he realized is that A, he wasn't going to stop his shine. That's A. And B, the people that know you and know your genuine character, they know when you're coming, you know, they understand and know where you're coming from a good place. So one thing he has done is he's essentially taken a step back in his approach. So he gauges people a little bit better. He'll give them compliments on areas that's not, I guess, in some people's eyes can come off as like sexual, because I know that's really the elephant in the room right there. Is so he'll do things like, hey, thank you so much for helping me with thank you for writing that email, or thank you, I appreciate you for doing this. So he'll just do different things. And even in his signature, he writes things like with gratitude, thank you so much, sincerely appreciate it. So what I realized is that instead of just saying thank you at the end of his signature, he'll write something additional like, hey, thank you so much. I appreciate you taking 5 minutes of your time to help me out. So he'll just add in something additional that an individual may have done that's very minor, but can make a difference in even the way they view their business, especially if there's an individual that doesn't have much responsibility. And sometimes like an admin, say, for example, I think admins are perfect examples because they do a lot of the work of the business and the business owner, but they receive very little credit. You know, they're essentially the face of the business. So he'll just do little things for his admins, just saying, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Here's an additional 5 minutes, you know, take a 10-minute break longer. He'll do little things like that. So it is super difficult, but you really have to just gauge and read people, and maybe just asking them questions about like what their interests are, and maybe explore that interest with them without, you know, coming off like intimate. So say, for example, if I'm into, golf, something like that. I know Coach Ricky Terry loves golf.
Watch out now.
He likes golf. So I'll engage with him. I'll even take a moment to maybe learn about certain things and then engage and have that conversation with him. Because now it shows that I have no interest in golf, but being that you have interest in golf, I'll take a little bit more interest in it. And it's a good way to kind of build a connection and rapport without you coming out and being like, hey, you look nice, or you look pretty today. And that individual taking it the complete wrong way. So just engaging in some of their activities that they like and talking about it with them.
Monique and Dr. Gray, if you don't mind, one of the things I tell young men, don't say anything you wouldn't want anyone to say to your sister or mother or your wife. It is easy to get in trouble. On the other hand, I tell young ladies all the time, remember what you say is being listened to. And that's really important. What you are saying, you're being listened to. So you know whether the water is murky or not. Dr. Gray, we've held a lot of conversations about this. And it's dangerous out there. So you got to go into it with a good reputation is how it starts, I think.
Right. That's actually, I like the way you said that, Coach. That's how you go into it, with a good reputation. And I think when it comes to being an entrepreneur or business owner, your reputation does speak volumes. So I realize a lot of people that will get into the real estate industry and then they'll leave the industry within a year or two. I realize is that they never really had a good reputation to begin with, or people didn't trust them, or they were not trustworthy. So they struggle to get people to trust in them and their business. And to essentially, what I realize is that people are going to buy houses, they're going to sell houses. The only thing I'm really convincing them to do, I'm not convincing them to buy the product at all. I'm just convincing them to work with me and see the value in me and trust me. And if someone already knows you, if they already like you, it just makes it that much easier to do business with that individual. And at the end of the day, people don't want to work with people that they don't know, honestly. Like, it cringes me to do research on basic stuff because you don't know what's false or what's correct. So when I get a recommendation from you, Dr. Gray, or I get a recommendation from Coach Ricky Terry, I'm like, okay, awesome. I go with it and I run with it because I'm like, I trust him. So I know whoever he connects me to, they're trustworthy. So, and
I have a question for you, Mo, if I can.
Well, not to cut you off, we only got like about a minute and a half to go. So Greg, Coach.
One of the things I noticed about you, Monique, is the importance to soft skills. In all of our industries, I think that's something we have to really kind of know how to master and embrace. How important is the soft skills to your success?
Can you clarify what you mean by soft skills? I just want to make sure I'm talking about the right thing.
Exactly what you're talking about today, the underworkings of what really supports successful people are the things you're talking about today. How important is it to master those soft skills?
I mean, it's super essential. Like literally when I go out with friends or I just go out, like I'll reconnect with a past client, the first thing they're doing is they're telling everybody in the room that I sell real estate. They're selling for me before I even get a chance to sell. And there's times I'm like, I don't want anybody to know. I'm here. My hair's not done. I look crazy. I don't even want anybody to know I'm in sales, but they're so excited because I've treated them essentially like royalty. In their eyes, I just got to know them and just said, hey, if you're ever in need of this service, please let me know. Because we all will probably buy a house one day or sell a house one day. Some people will do it several times throughout their lifetimes. But my main goal is just to say, hey, whenever you're here, whenever you need my service, I'm here. And I'm not trying to sell to you every day. And there's a lot of people I won't even sell to. I will literally say to them, like, honestly, you'll probably never buy a house, or at least maybe you'll only do one transaction. My main goal is to see if you will refer me to a family or friend when it comes to that point, if they're ever in need, because you already know that I do it. You know me, you trust me, you like me, you see I have a good reputation. I've been doing this for a while, I have that consistency. So what I realized is that I hardly sell anymore. I'm just getting to know people, letting them know, hey, this is what I do. This is going on in my industry. What do you do? What's going on in your industry? How can I be of help or service to you? And in return, they're usually like, thanks for getting to know me. Thanks for reaching out. Thanks for sending me a thank you letter or just encouraging me, being a support system. And because of that, my friend or my brother or my sister wants to buy a house next.
Hey, Monique, thank you for that part. You know what, our time is just about up. What I want to do, I know we have, and I thank Coach Terry for the questions, and Maxine, we got our soft skills guru on. Maxine, she has a company with that. When you get time, Maxine, throw your information in the chat for soft skills. I think if it's not already there. What I want to do, before I turn it back to Monique, give us the closing comments. I think we have some new. I think Tawana Woods came on. Sister Woods, can you go and give us 10 seconds, your name and your company?
Hi, everyone. Sorry, I'm traveling, so I forget the background. My name is Tawana Woods. I'm president of Icebreakers Unlimited. So if you're needing outsourced sales, we are the extension of your sales team. Let's break ice.
Perfect. And we got Miss Smith.
Good morning. I'm Tawanya Smith with Right Choice Motors used car dealership located in Covington, Georgia.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Look, I want to thank everybody for all for taking your time out on this Monday morning, beautiful Monday. I think we're all in a location whereby we see the sunshine. So that is a great day. So Monique, I want to thank you so much. Thank you, Coach Terry, for the opportunity of meeting and getting to know her. Monique, I know we're on time frame. I'm gonna give you 30 seconds. That may sound churchy, but I'm gonna give you 30 seconds. Close out in 30 seconds, and then we can all go out and do what we need to do to establish great relationships.
Yes, Scott. So in conclusion is try to get to know the individual, make sure that they feel important and appreciate it. Obviously, please do not fake it. If they are not doing something that you feel that you can compliment them on, do not do it. But when you feel that they are doing something phenomenal, or maybe they said something nice, or maybe they did something kind, definitely compliment them on that. At the end of the day, we are all in sales. We are all selling something, whether it's ourselves, like I said, to our family, our friends, even to, if you have any kids, we're all in a not saying the business, but we need humans. We need each other. And at the end of the day, the top things that humans crave is food, sleep, and we also have a desire to feel needed, to feel important and appreciated. So If you can remember that, you can pretty much, not going to say you can convince anybody to work with you or convince any business, but for the most part, you're well on your way to at least convincing the majority of the people that you work with to do business, to do more business with you.
Cool. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Also, this will be out on YouTube later on today, if not this evening, tomorrow. So please share with your family and your friends. Also, I'll be sending some information out. I will be on Tawana's show this Thursday, so we'll be having fun on cocktails and conversations. More to come on that. So everybody have a great day. Remember, connect, connect, connect. And if you need someone's information and you didn't get it in chat, definitely hit me up. You guys have a great day.